Tune in to Talking Law with Attorney Darrell O'Neill and the special guest host, Attorney Jerome Payen. Live TV talk on your digital device, on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question? Our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Darrell O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talk Law with Darrell O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man, Jerome.
What's up, Darrell?
Man, you took vacation on me right
for a minute, man. I had some personal issues going on, and then the other time I was just cooling out.
Man, it's good to have you back, man. You know what? Now, I had a star, man, on my show, though, man.
Who you have, man?
Man, I had my daughter, man. She came in and talked about it, man. Talked about it for real.
Excellent.
So, yeah. So, we need to say welcome to all the audience. We need to say welcome to Little Rock.
Okay.
Welcome to West Memphis.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome to Memphis, Shelby County. Welcome to Mississippi. And welcome to the great state of Missouri.
All right.
You know,
the show me state.
The show me state. You know, Miss Debbie was saying to me, and you know, I know we got a lot of people that watch on Facebook.
That's right.
But we're transitioning. So you know, there's an app now. You can actually download that Roku app, or it's Roku. It's Fire Stick.
Yes.
I mean, you can download the SVP TV Network app.
Wow.
And then you can watch the shows from there at your leisure.
Very good, man.
So, you know, I mean, those are some things that are out there. I mean, we're going to still try to present the show on Facebook Live, but I think they're trying to transition. I think the network is really trying to transition to the Roku and other different things of that nature.
For even broader
for a broader audience.
Okay.
You know, for a broader audience.
I like that there.
So, anyway, thank you for watching the show. So today we wanted to talk about, the last show Jerome and I did together, we were talking about the moratorium.
Yes.
And so we really want to try to talk about the moratorium a little bit more, because that moratorium affects each area different. So we really want to talk about the moratorium as it affects us here in, the Sixth Circuit is what I call it.
Yes.
So that would be Tennessee, Michigan, Ohio,
Kentucky.
Yeah. So those are the four in the Sixth Circuit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So that circuit has the Sixth Circuit has actually ruled that the moratorium is unconstitutional.
That's right. And was it Judge Mark Norris's
original
ruling that they supported and said yes, he was right? Yeah.
Yeah. So usually,
but there, unfortunately, it's really confusing to the public how it's constitutional in some areas and unconstitutional in other arees. And that's when the Supreme Court comes in and rules so we can have one set of rules to follow.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's in trouble if you go back to the Supreme Court. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's funny you said that.
Yeah.
It may be in trouble when it's in trouble. But you never know.
Yeah.
But because what has happened is the Supreme Court chimed in, said that it was Indiana University.
Oh, they declined to hear it.
They declined to hear it.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So so students of Indiana University sued the university. It's a state institution. Sued the university because they were saying that it was improper for their COVID mandates. So they had mandates that you had to have vaccinations and maybe even masks to attend the University of Indiana University. And the Supreme Court declined to hear.
Well, it was their darling, Barrett, from Tennessee. She declined. I think she has this area. Amy Courtney Bryan, Barrett.
Is she from Tennessee?
Well, she went to Rhodes College.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She ain't from Tennessee.
But I was thinking she was from Tennessee too because she went to Rhodes College.
Yeah, I mean Rhodes. That's where Rhodes Scholars and stuff. Rhodes is a bit
from this Rhodes College in Memphis. That Rhodes Scholar.
Well, I don't know about that.
I think that's over in England.
Oh, yes, right. You're right. No, you're right. You're so right. it's Rhodes College.
Rhodes College.
Rhodes College.
Right.
But Rhodes College is a top.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a top tier.
No
in
question.
a regular, it runs into the William and Mary and
No question. It's a quality university. But there, with the numbers rising the way that they're rising, it might be a different look this time when it goes back, particularly in this area. Well, Arkansas is not in the Arkansas in the fifth,
eighth circuit.
Okay, what about Mississippi's in the fifth?
Mississippi in the fifth.
Okay, so Mississippi's numbers are skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Arkansas's numbers are skyrocketing. So you got the fifth and the eighth and the sixth, where we got a lot of trouble with the virus, with the variant.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, some school districts, Marion was one of them, and the Little Rock School District sued the state of Arkansas to allow, because they said that they were inappropriately interfering. So they filed an injunction to prevent the legislators from preventing them from having mask mandates.
And really what happened, remember, they had passed a law, and the governor signed it, that you could not implement a mask mandate.
Right. And matter of fact, they made it criminal, didn't they?
Oh, well, I'm not sure about that.
Okay, I know it was a pretty extreme, and the governor said he wished he had never signed it.
Well, he called a special session to try to get them to undo it, and they didn't do it.
Right.
And he was begging for some judicial.
Well, he got it. He got it. And again, the legislators really, for lack of a better word, had their butt handed to them because, they entered an injunction, preventing them from enforcing that rule.
Oh, great.
So,
but there too. How did this ever get to be political?
Look, let me ask. Here's
and I know you don't like politics.
I don't like politics.
But that's where we are, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't like stupid either, Jerome. I don't like politics, and one of the politicians in Mississippi said it best. There has been hundreds of thousands of people that have died from COVID.
Oh man!
He says there's been no one that has died from the vaccination.
That's interesting.
So you can say whatever you want to say. He
really did capture the moment, didn't he? There?
Man, he captured it beautiful. I mean, when he finished saying it, I was like, man, that's gold.
That's golden, absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, so so I understand the moratorium. Now, I understood it more before, or why it was unconstitutional. Because I think I told you that I believe
did. From day one,
I told you it was unconstitutional.
Right.
And I understand the moratorium. And I wouldn't have had a problem with it being unconstitutional prior to now.
I see.
And the reason why, I still think it's unconstitutional. But prior to now, and I don't need to think more than anything because the Sixth Circuit said it's unconstitutional.
But you know what, there is still, remember we talked about it one time, and I was excited about that show, when we talked about how legislation passes the test. It's rational relations, and there's strict scrutiny. Apparently, that's what they did to this particular piece of legislation. It was not legislation.
No,
it was just edict by one of the branches of government.
The executive branch.
Right.
It came out of the executive branch.
That's right.
And the reality of it is, the executive branch doesn't have the authority to make law.
That's right.
That's really where it all boils down to. Yeah, I mean, that's just outside of there.
Well, on second thought there, some places it is constitutional.
Well,
in some places it is not.
Yeah. And
so, you follow me?
You're correct.
So,
you're correct. In some places, it's not unconstitutional as a whole.
That's right.
It's unconstitutional in those jurisdictions where the court has ruled.
Because
there is some courts that have ruled that it is constitutional.
That's exactly right.
So you hit it on the head. I mean, if you get enough circuits that have this animosity, then the Supreme Court will have to come in and break the ties.
Exactly. And the thing about it too, Darrell, and that's what's so troubling about it, is that you can just about pick the places where it will be constitutional and the places where it will not be constitutional. Yeah. And so apparently the Sixth Circuit is leaning somewhat red then. Republican.
I don't know that.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, so
for them to come and say that it was unconstitutional.
well, the moratorium. Here's what the moratorium do. So let's recap this.
Okay.
What the moratorium was doing was it was saying that that no landlords could put out a person if that person filled out an affidavit saying, I have nowhere else to go and I've exhausted all the remedies to try to, pay or take care of my responsibilities. Now I'm paraphrasing.
But that's pretty good.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what the moratorium does. But
And if I lose this place, I'm going.
that's one reason why.
Right,
But the
okay.
second reason would be the different branches.
Okay.
I don't know that the executive branch, and it's not even the executive branch. It's just an office of the executive branch.
Well, with the president telling them to do it.
Yeah, but
So
it's not like he signed some executive order to do this.
Maybe he should have done it by executive.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. And so the problem becomes, what does that look like? So my whole point of it is there was no this for that. There was no quid pro quo. The citizens got the ability to stay in a landlord's house, and the landlord basically got nothing for it.
Well, and also too there now, this is a different look now, because when it first came about with the moratorium, is the country had shut down.
Correct.
And so people could not go back and forth to work. In fact, it discouraged people from going out to work.
Right.
So that's how some of this back rent accrued. But now that's different now because we got all the stimulus money pouring now. So,
Well, and it was out there then, Jerome. I mean, because what ended up happening is relatively soon into the pandemic, what they did, is they passed, and it was under the Trump administration. What they did is they passed this stimulus document out here. And what happens is, what they did is, you got your unemployment, and the federal government kicked in $600, depending on what state you were in, because every state had a little different.
That's right.
But they put in, $500 or $600. I think Tennessee was $300 or $400.
It was $600 initially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they put in $600 on top of your $275, which is the cap you can get in Tennessee. Right. So you got $875 a week to stay at home. And with all due respect, Jerome, that was probably more than most people was getting as a salary. So if they couldn't pay their rent with the $875 that they had, there was no way they were going to pay their rent under no scenario.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I thought it was hypocritical to be complaining about being put out when there was a class of people that were making those complaints. And in fact, we're getting $875 a week.
That's true.
What kind of hypocritical thing is that?
I just don't see it that way.
Okay.
But
maybe I'm stupid.
No.
Let me back up to it, because maybe I'm stupid.
I see where you're coming from, and I do agree with you that they made more money than they've ever made in their entire life because of that enhanced unemployment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you got to think about it too. Now everybody didn't qualify.
I got that. Absolutely, yeah. Because there was a number of people that didn't qualify that did it anyway, yes. And of course that's where the government's prosecuting some of these people.
Right.
But you got $875.
Yes.
Which is probably enough to pay your rent for that month, and people didn't do it. And then we went down there and then said, "Oh, by the way, you can't put me out because I ain't got nowhere else to stay." So how was that? That was the hypocritical part.
I got you.
It would be different if I didn't, because most of the people that were able to get the unemployment, Jerome, were working. The people that they hurt with the COVID matter by saying stay at home were people that were working.
That's right.
And those people would have got unemployment anyway.
That's right.
Because they were working. They
would have got the $275.
They would have got the $275 anyway.
Right.
So they got the $875.
Right. So
they were getting more money, or at least enough money to pay at least their rent. The people that really there's these class of people that I call.
Are you trying to choose your words carefully?
I am.
You should see yourself trying to choose your. But that's good there. I like that. You're trying to choose your words carefully.
Well, there's a class of people, opportunists, and they use this as an opportunity, and it hurt the mass. Because the moratorium, and if everything would have worked the way they were supposed to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had the moratorium, you had the stimulus money,
That's
right? And
enhance food stamps.
and enhance everything. Then what would have happened is the moratorium wouldn't have mattered to the landlord because the landlord would have been getting money from these people because they were getting that stimulus money.
That's true.
So they would have been paying their bill.
That's true.
So the landlord ain't hurt.
That's true.
But what was happening is landlord wouldn't get paid, people getting this extra money, and they were laying up in the landlord's house. And he can't pay his bill.
That's true.
You know,
it was tough. But also too, in a place like Memphis, I see a lot of people driving around in cars with drive-by tags on it too. So maybe they were able to purchase some transportation too, so that they can get back and forth to work whenever work became available. But one thing it did change though, no one will ever work again for $7.25 an hour.
they changed the game on that.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, they changed the game on that. Because I mean, you got signs, you got signs out there now, 9, 10.
That's exactly right.
And signing bonuses,
and college education, and 401k,
oh my goodness,
and vacations.
Oh yeah.
So that changed the game.
That changed the game, man. You can't get nowhere for no $7 an hour.
That's
now.
exactly right.
And again, they were trying to increase the wages anyway.
That's right.
Again, I'm glad they didn't get up there because I got employees. I'm thinking I'm paying decent wages. Now you kick me up to $15. Or you kick the minimum $15, then my wages don't look as good.
But Darrell, we talked about on this show many times on how poorly people could fare on $7.25 an hour. It was not a livable wage.
Yeah.
Ever. It's never been. Particularly they had to increase it in 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
It's been a while.
So
let me tell you, man,
something good with that one.
And I'm gonna be, and I'll say this, begrudgingly, I'll say this. Even $10 an hour makes it tough for somebody to survive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you're thinking about that. I mean, that's $400 a week, and that's $1,600 a month. I mean, your rent is $800. Yeah. So
that's tight,
man. And then you ain't paying no taxes
That's
yet.
exactly right.
So that's rough.
So,
that's rough. And I concede that point, Jerome. I truly concede that point. But that's the difference. If you were making $10 an hour before, right?
Right.
And you got laid off or they couldn't go to work or whatever that scenario was, right? And you got the stimulus money, you got $875. Because $400 was enough to keep you into the $275 bracket.
That's right.
So you got $875. So that means you got double a week.
That's right. And what you were
making.
Yeah.
So again, why wouldn't you pay your rent? I'm just floored with that. Yeah. And maybe I'm the dumb guy.
No, you're not. So I'm sure there was some reasons for it. I just can't quite articulate it, but it increased the economy. That was the whole idea. It was to pour the money into the economy.
It was.
And so it did.
It did that now.
And they say the savings rate went up quite a bit too. So people who never had accounts now have accounts. So that's always what we have to do, Darrell, in my opinion, is to try and determine what was good about it, what was bad, what needs to change. Because it looks like we're headed that way again if something doesn't change.
Yeah, so now here's going to my stupidity process. I'm like the guy from Mississippi.
Man,
why in the world
he said a mouthful.
Would you put your family, put your kids in jeopardy of getting a disease or a virus rather that could kill you? Why would you put them in that jeopardy when there is a vaccination that could potentially protect them?
That's right.
Oh my God! I'm hearing people now. I'm hearing people now. Well, the governor in Tennessee was saying I want the schools to be open. Now he's saying
He forced them to go back
Yeah.
to school.
but now he's saying so it should be virtual learning, it should be in-person school.
Right.
But now they should come to school and not wear masks. And in fact, the whole because
I think he said that it can't be a mandate. He doesn't like the fact that it's a mass mandate. But most of these school systems are defying the governor's orders. And no, we're going to mask up our children in Shelby County.
Yeah.
And I applaud them for doing it.
It's not a mass mandate, Jerome. It's a mass safety event. Are you serious? I mean, it's an event. Again, you got to think about it from this perspective.
Yeah, oh man, no question.
If we're talking about high schoolers, that's one thing.
You're right.
But if we're talking about elementary school, which is 14 or 13 and below, then the age to get vaccinated is 12.
That's right.
So you got a whole class of people that can't get vaccinated.
That's right.
And so you get the people that have been vaccinated, they can have COVID. They're not going to have the major effects because they got the vaccination. But then the person that don't have it, be damn near dead.
That's right.
I don't get it, man.
I don't get it either, Darrell. And the thing about it is the people, and see, that's where leadership comes in. You see a true leader, true leaders rise to the top.
Yeah.
When you got somebody like the governor down there in Florida, DeSantis, the place is that's the number one hot spot.
Come on into Florida, y'all. You don't need no mask.
No mask.
You can hang out anywhere you want to hang.
And if the school system requires a mask, we're going to cut their salaries.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
And here's a sad and disgusting thing. Again, I don't know how many people have to die.
Oh man!
But Mississippi's virus numbers are higher now than they were during the pandemic.
That's right. Arkansas, the same way.
Yeah, higher now than the height of the pandemic.
Arkansas, the same way.
There are no beds for some people to sleep in and to get care in Mississippi.
Right.
They're bringing
They're bringing them Memphis.
They're bringing a military. They're going to set up a military hospital out on a tarmac in Jackson because they ain't got no beds.
And then they got the ship. The ship they had one time before is going to pull up to the coast.
Yeah,
and they have that available. And that's why I said there when we first started the show tonight, I talked about how does life and death become political. All of these people, well, not all these people, but the majority of these people who are anti-vaccination people are people who identify as Republicans.
No, well,
the majority of them are.
Well, it's funny you say that. I'm not certain I agree with you.
Okay.
So here's what they did. They showed the stats.
Okay.
The other day, and they said that rural counties or rural areas, which is traditionally Republican.
Okay.
And they said urban inner city areas.
It's where they're not being
vaccinated.
And well, the reason why in the urban areas they don't have access. That's why they had to have the mobile units going out.
Man, dude, I heard black people talking about they ain't getting it. They ain't no access. They ain't getting it.
Now, also too now,
walk out your house, Jerome, and go grocery shopping.
But
you walk down the street to get whatever you need to go.
But
it's at a Walgreens.
But they're not making that decision in a vacuum. It's not in a vacuum because we've not had some good success with some of these vaccination programs. We're going back to the Tuskegee.
No. I don't disagree.
And we're going back to how poor treatment is for African Americans in the facilities there.
No.
So,
Jerome, I get that.
So they don't trust some of these things that's going on. Do you follow me?
No. I don't just follow you. I truly understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that, and I understand that. But if you look. The life expectancy for a black male in Shelby County, Tennessee, is about 72 years old.
Oh my God.
Give or take. The life expectancy for a black female in Shelby County is about 74, 75. And I mean, it's the nuances. I mean, it could be 73, somewhere in the neighborhood. So.
And what about the white person? Do you know?
It's 76 and 78.
Okay. So, yeah.
So the numbers
in every way.
It's 76 and 78.
Which we've been cut short there.
Man, You know, and again, I don't know.
This disparity is real.
Disparity is real.
Yeah.
I mean, and the treatment is real.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
You still got people dying of prostate cancer.
That's right.
I was just talking to a doctor the other day, and I was saying, how does that happen? I mean, it's one of the most...
Just start getting tested early.
Yeah, but it's one of the most curable cancers that you can have.
Are you kidding me?
Top curable cancer that you have.
What's the problem? Not being screened early
Not getting
enough?
screened. And then when it gets together, people just don't want to get involved with it.
Whoa.
So people... When I hear somebody die from prostate cancer, man, I say to myself, really?
It didn't have to happen.
Yeah, I don't get... Now, it's an annoying process now to get checked out and to go through all those tests. I mean, it ain't nothing to be having conversations about, but, if that, and Steve Harvey kind of made a joke on, I'll go every year. Because if that's what I got to do to take care.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, because
it's too many brothers dying from it. Then.
Well, and then and people of color, black people.
That's what I mean.
It's it's prevalent anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the cancer's prevalent, but the high
death rate.
Yeah, the high death rate, and then the high prostate count. People of color anyway. So, like you said, every way we have it, it could be bad. But why not do the little
That's true.
things?
But see, but there are also too now. The fact that's why they keep talking about Medicare for all. Prescription drug prices are so high.
Yeah.
I can't count, the number of people who have to make a choice every single month on whether they're going to buy their medicine or they're going to buy food. Do you see what I'm saying? So all of these disparities are coming to light now. That's why the difference in life saying.
That's and I understand in some of these other countries around the world saying things like that about us, and saying that we have the largest economical, process in the world, yet still we don't have universal health care.
That's exactly right.
And
why is that?
Because
it's political.
Well, now that's where it ain't political.
Well, the reason
that's the money.
Well,
that's the money, because what ends up happening is the insurance companies, insurance lobbyists, those type of individuals are the ones that are doing everything. Look, when the original Affordable Health Act was put in place by President Obama,
right?
The original, not put in place, but it was originally put together by
proposing. They're trying to get it. Yeah.
It had in there what it was called a public option.
Yes.
And everybody wanted that out.
Right.
Republicans, Democrats, they all wanted that out because it would have bankrupt the insurance companies. Think about it. If everybody could get insurance at the price of Medicare or Medicaid or TRICARE, which is what the military had, or with all those senators that we vote for.
Right, exactly.
If everybody could get that,
I think we may get it.
That would be the best of the world.
I think we may get it if we can maintain the majority. If the Democrats can maintain the majority, we may get it. We may get universal health care. That was one of the things that Bernie Sanders was running on.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they fought tooth and nail, but President Biden told them the other day, do something about the price of these drugs. The same drug in America that cost $400. Somebody said the other day that they had a pill that cost $400 a month.
Yeah. Well,
and that same drug is probably $2 in Canada.
Yeah, whatever that pill is, I don't want it.
But you got to have it.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, we talked about this moratorium, and we'll bring you another subject next week. Appreciate you watching the show. Roku, Fire Stick, use them.
And be safe out there, people.
Yeah, Apple. And Apple TV. Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV. And Miss Debbie has told me we're not going to forget about Facebook.
That's right.
All right, y'all. See you next week.